First surrounded claim is that the Manosphere is a billion-dollar business that profits off keeping men angry and insecure.
If you would like to debate this claim.
Men from a very young age has removed fathers from the home, has used various incentive programs to encourage single motherhood rates, has made it such that boys are told from age 7 that the fundamental way to view history is a patriarchy. And because
figure in this space, which is Chris Williamson, he is like the 8th biggest podcast in the world right now. Like, he's not extreme. He's not saying all the same shit. So for example, a Movember survey from 2025 found that young men who regularly consume Manosphere content because when you look globally, you look at countries that have not had a large feminist impact, the young men are struggling just as much there, if not more. And if you look at some of the countries that are even more progressive and more feminist than the United States, the men are doing better there than they are doing here. So male psychology, right? Men are, I think, 4 times more likely to have ADHD. Men tend to lose interest in things. They have lots of examples.
But can you understand how there is a correlation between being willing to take a lot of dick from a lot of different people?
So vagina as well. It's generally, low self-esteem correlates very strongly with sexual partners overall.
Totally agree.
Yes.
I think it's worse.
But that doesn't make them worse people. The same way like somebody with low self-esteem is more likely to abuse alcohol or drugs.
Totally.
Like, doesn't make them a bad person.
But it's not.
Where they're making money from?
Tate's Hustler University, I think at one point he was bragging that it was making 12, 15 million a month. Sports betting, gambling sites are sponsoring a lot of these guys. They're driving like millions of dollars of revenue to them.
To society.
I mean, Tate's course largely just taught people how to promote Tate's course and take 50% of the revenue. So I mean,
it's to a lot of those traits that you mentioned. So I'm specifically thinking about a study or meta-analysis from the University of Utah, which found that specific study that I'm referencing, if the woman slept with, let's say, over 10 women, is what I think it was, that cohort had by far the highest.
Gonna sleep with the pool guy. And by the way, that same study that you just mentioned, what's interesting about it is that women who slept from between 3 to 9 different partners.
Abortion.
Okay.
Abortion kills upward of 1 million Americans every single year. It's 3,000 men, women, and children.
Because porn has been around for thousands of years.
Let's say the people who own OF right now. Okay. Let's say that the most age, right? On a vast majority, what they say, 35 to 40% of women right now, or over 18, going up into 45. Please give me that.
Yeah. So there are 3.7 million total creators on OnlyFans, 1.1 million in the U.S. About 90% are women, and only 70% are doing adult material. So that equates to about 700,000. So the average male currently first got access to porn when he was 11 years old. By 18, he was 11 years old. By 18, 90% of men are using it regularly or have used it regularly in the past. Men who use porn regularly in the past. Men who use porn regularly, you see worse metrics across the board, more likely to be.
To end no-fault divorce, which is exposing children 70% more likelihood to being abused. Same with the women. Opening the welfare program for single mothers, which is increasing the crime rate, which is affecting all of society as a whole.
True. Then you would expect to see male mental health decline in the most progressive countries in the world, right? There are countries that are even we are.
UK.
Sweden, Switzerland, Germany, Australia, there are lots of them. You don't see the same decline in non-feminist countries, right? So there are countries like China and Japan where men are struggling even more than they are here. That's an indicator that feminism is like not.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah, which is why we should probably have age restriction and identification on it for uses, which has been shut down in places like Minneapolis.
Yeah, so I agree.
Feminism are out, and men's mental health, women's mental health has been worse than it's ever been in recorded history. More men and more women are committing suicide. When?
Pre-1970, actually, funny enough, 1950s suicide rate was actually the all-time high.
Okay.
It's whatever. The data is, I think it's 94, 92% of boys by 18 have been exposed to pornography. And
because I agree with you that, Elizabeth Cady Stanton's Declaration of Sentiments did not create the porn problem that we have today. So big into first wave. And then
when you look at the problems that have been affecting young men and boys, They go back decades. They go back to the 80s and 90s before any of this.
Prior, when you were talking about sort of the shift in the economy that we're seeing, kind of going from physical-based careers to more social-based careers, and that women on average tend to prefer. I think that's one of the major issues. I think the overprescription of methylphenidate medication, pathologizing male play behavior, fatherlessness, all of these things are contributing. That's one of the major issues. I think the overprescription of methylphenidate medication, pathologizing male play behavior, fatherlessness, all of these things are contributing. Megaphones of society. So the left controls Hollywood. The left controls mainstream media. And the left is men at every twist and turn, starting in elementary schools, which are by and large dominated by women who are teachers, particularly left.
I actually don't know who that is.
Okay. David Buss is like the godfather of sexual mating research across the world. He's done some of the largest. So I would say that it is true, women are generally more attracted to men who have more resources, more status. It's just a fact of life. But I would.
Often it works. Being that jerk gets you that first date. And if you want to be the nice guy after that, I support that.
Women love jerks. That's 100%. You know that.
I disagree.
What I want to do is I want to go away from pornography.
So I've been writing for young men since 2008. Between 2008 and 2013, I used to take guys out to bars and like.
You would wingman them?
Yeah. It's like a professional wingman.
Isn't it so?